Maybe this will help you out. The newer style is a lot better than the older style. The older style has these little clips on the inside that they're like little O-rings. Once they go out, they start leaking. I'm gonna show you what a failing one looks like, and you could actually hear it versus the new one that we got. And like I said, this is probably for demonstration purposes only, because I know there's a lot of people that know how to do this, but there's some people, they're clueless, they want to save some money. This is the way to do it. So I don't know if it's educational or maybe just to re-up on how to do it. So with that being said, let me show you a failing one and what we're going to install the new one. Remember this mamalona? We worked on it. We fixed the 4-link on it. It was damaged. It was bad. The pressure switch had messed up. We replaced that. And then the last thing that we needed to do, because maintenance is what you need to do on airbag trucks, replace this beef hell. You can hear it if I stay very quiet. We're gonna remove this and replace it. So you can see that they already marked them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put tape on them. You could chase these lines to where they go, but it's already here. Like I said, some people will probably have this and be clueless, but if you just mark them, remember there's always going to be an earth source here, and there's always going to be an exit on this side. However, there is an extra source here to fill it up as well. So one has to be plugged. One's your feed, one's your out. Then you have your front left, front right, your rear right, your rear left. But since I don't know which ones they are right now, I'm just gonna simply I'm gonna mark this as 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I know that they're gonna go corresponds to where it needs to be at. Now, this is an E-level system, so it does have the sensors. If you did not have the sensors, you would use these connections here for gauges or pressure switches, so they can regulate where your system's gonna be at. However, just because you have this don't necessarily mean you're gonna have the E-level without the brain. So you need the brain to control it. If not, this is just basically a regular manifold. So with that being said, let's get this removed, mark these, and let's get the new one installed, and then I'll show you the good thing about the new one versus the old one. So with that being said, let me mark these 1, 2, 3, 4, and then remove this and disconnect the harness. But before I do that, I'm gonna disconnect the battery just so we don't mess up the brain. So let's disconnect the battery, mark these, and then we'll remove it, and I'll show you the new one. So old one's here. You can tell this the older style, because like I said, it has these they're called cartridges inside of it, and they're not hard. Like I said, they're not really hard to install, and they're, you know, you have your in, your exit, and then on this side as well, your in and your exit. So these valves are to pick it up, and these are to dump it, but everything's in here. And on these systems, you have to drain your tanks. Moisture goes in here, you're asking for disaster. But like I said, this is an older setup. The newer setup, they listened to the people when they were telling them, complaining that eventually these start leaking. So they ended up coming up with this new one here. It's not a promo. I'm just simply showing you guys, if you want to save some money, how to do it yourself. So if it helps people, it helps people. And if not, well, at least you get to watch something. So the new setups, like I said, they all have threads. You can clearly see it's still named in and out, well, in and exit. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Just remember that these are opened. Like I told you guys, these would be your lines, and then these would be like if you had gauges to see what pressure you have if you didn't have a management system. You could also, they also carry pressure sensors. Those pressure sensors for this setup could work as well, just in case if you don't know how to set the the sensors for the E-level systems, they have to be in a certain amount of degree, and if they don't reach that, then you lose your lift or disinflate. So if you don't know how to set that, obviously too, when they come, they give you a little little diagram on it. You can read it through it, understand it, but there's simpler ways to do it. You could also run the pressure switches with E-level, and then that would just simplify your system. Plug it in, plug in your sensor here, run it to the brain, and the brain knows how much PSI you're setting it to be. So yeah, like I said, pros and cons. Me personally, I don't like using these because 10 times out of 1 they keep on failing because people are not regular doing maintenance, draining their tanks. Remember, air controls moisture, moisture becomes rust, rust goes in here, in these little valleys, get caught, they start getting stuck, or they don't lift, or they don't shut. That's why I personally just like valves. Valves to me are very simple. It's more of a process to, you know, install them, see where they're gonna go, etc., etc. This is a lot simple, but then again, so with that being said, I already know which direction they're gonna go. Remember, I did name them from 1 to 4. However, in the block is 4-1. It doesn't matter whether I started from the left to the right from the left. I still named them 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not switching anything. It's just where I know where the line's gonna be at. So 1 is gonna be 4, 2 is gonna be 3, 3 is gonna be 2, and 4 is gonna be 1. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't matter. They're still gonna work the same because I'm not changing anything other than replacing it. So same thing here. You can see, starts from 4, goes to 1. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. So I'm gonna plumb these, thread them in right now. This side, we're gonna block it because he does not have an extra tank. He does have a tank in the front, but I don't know if it leaks or not. We didn't try it. We can add a piece later, but the brain being so close to this, it's gonna be kind of hard to run a 90, bring it back down, and take it back that way. I mean, it's easier just to plumb another tank in the back and call it good. So yeah, we're gonna put one line here for your in. This should be your exit, and then we're gonna plug all these here. So let's get the fittings and let's get straight to it. I'm not gonna show my face, I'm gonna show my hands. So I'm gonna show you while I'm working. And these already come with Teflon, so you'll see right now. These, they already come with Teflon, as you can see, it's here. They're push connects, so they're easy to install. If these ever fail, screw it back off, put a new one. So basically what we're gonna do the same thing as they have here. So we're just gonna put it on right now for mock-up purposes. I am gonna tie everything up right now. I'm gonna show you the difference between Teflon tapes, because there's one particular one that is not a paid sponsor, but I like using their product because a lot of these, if you look at the instructions, they tell you to install Loctite. I don't like installing Loctite because if I ever need to replace this, it's gonna be a mofo to remove it with Loctite on this. So me personally, I just don't like using Loctite. There's a lot of people that do. I personally don't. And I also don't like using Teflon tape, this kind. I like using the Blue Monster pipe thread sealer. Well, the good thing about this is that right now it's soft. When you apply it, it's very stretchy. The other thing is too, it has like this coating on it. Once you put it on there and it dries completely, it gets hard. It gets hard like if you're using this, but without using this. That's the reason why I don't like using that, and I like using this. So I am gonna, these are the plugs. So it is directional. You need to have it the direction it's gonna tight, because if you put it the opposite way, it's not gonna do anything to the seal. So you want to wrap it like if you're gonna tie it, if that makes any sense. I don't, on the top of my head right now, this is going, well, it's lefty loosey, righty tighty, so I'm going right, and then you get a good amount of it and pull it. As you can see, it's already getting wet. Oh, it's getting wet. You can see where it's dry. I'm gonna put it in the manifold. And this is just to block the holes or where it's gonna land at. So right now, this is temporarily right now, it's tight. I am gonna get a ratchet, snug it up tight, because you do not want this to leak, because air goes from here and comes out of here. If you don't block this, it's just gonna throw it up completely. So that's how I did one. Let me finish all three, and I'll get the ratchet, and let's move on. So you do one, I'm gonna do the same thing to these. I don't want to bore you, so I'm gonna do it off camera, then I'll show you when I'm done. So this is what it looks like done. You got to plug this one. This is in, this is out. Old, new setup. So, and you don't want to use like an impact and tie this down until it gets snug, tight, and then quarter turn. That's all you need. I'm doing it right here in the chest. It's not like I'm having it in the fucking floor and cranking it. You will block, you will break this. This one is made out of metal, but these are brass, and you don't want to mess up the threads. So here's what it looks like complete right now. Let's install it in that, check for leaks, and you're supposed, like I told you guys, you're supposed to drain the tank. But when you have an E-level system, they do want you to put a pre-filter water separator from the tank to the manifold. So yes, you could drain the drain cock, and you don't technically need one, but it's best to use one. This truck doesn't have one, and the drain cock location where this one's at, it's in a horrible location. He's not gonna go under there, feel safe, unclog it, because if once you drain the drain cock, the truck will automatically go down. Now, unless you have check valves. If you have check valves directionals, and each corner of the bags, whenever anything happens, the air will be there all the time. Whenever you hit the dump to go back, the air will leave, but those check valves are really expensive, so a lot of people don't run them. Sometimes they do get caught, and when you're trying to air it out, 3 of them stay and 1 stays up. So it's really preference what you like. I'm gonna show you the water separator trap right now. Let me grab it, I'll show you guys. So I have one here, drain cock here, pre-filter in here. I'm gonna make sure these are tight, and these are directional. Air is gonna go that way. As you can see, this is from the tank, this is the manifold. So this will be somewhere like this. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure these are tight, and then I'm gonna check all the fittings before anything, because you could get leaks in any of these directions. So make sure this is tight here, make sure this is tight here, and I'm gonna make sure this is tight. I don't think this was an 18. It was. It's tight. Tight. So it's installed in the vehicle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them in there already. Since now it is gonna be a little bit taller, we might get a chance of it leaking here, but realistically these are new. Right now I'm gonna finesse them to make them fit where they need to be at. This is the one that we're gonna cut right now and put the water trap over there. So let me get the cutter so I can cut this, and we'll put the water trap where it needs to go, right here. So let me get the cutter. There you have it, water trap, manifold install. So if you don't have an idea, like I said, it's not very hard. You can save yourself $150 by doing it like this. So yeah, right now let's connect the ground. We'll test for leaks and we'll call it good. So let me connect the ground. We'll turn it on and we'll check for leaks. Battery is connected. As you can see, this battery tray is for a Ultima red top or yellow top because it's hitting on the top. I just noticed that right now. It's hitting somewhere here, and also it doesn't fit in the battery tray. So I'm gonna let him know, and then eventually, if he wants to upgrade, you know, this, we can do this. See how this wire mess? I don't like personally putting it in here. You're pretty much doing the stock location, but tubs, I mean, I don't know when this truck was built, but yeah, like I said, as long as everything down here is not touching, because if not, all these wires are positive, some are ground. It could cause a fire. I had already told them that. But yeah, with that being said, let's get the keys. We'll test it out. And let's see, everything's gonna work. The truck is fully aired up completely. Shut it off. Get some soap and water. It is up already, as you can see. Now let's check for leaks. I already do hear one. Fuck. Let's see where's it leaking from. So, as you can see, there is a leak on that one. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack it up. I'm gonna cut that one off completely and then put it again. If not, I'm just gonna replace the fittings. But other than that, that's the only little leak that we have. So let's get straight to it. So there you go. No more leaks. Keep it here so you guys can see. Not leaking anymore. What I ended up doing, where's it at? I ended up cutting a little piece of it because sometimes sometimes they leave these little grooves. See, focus. They leave these little grooves and it doesn't give you a proper focus. Well, let's see. There you go. See this little groove? So that little groove sometimes gets caught, as you can see, on the washer that's inside there. It's a rubber washer, so when you push it in, it locks it in. It leaks from there. So what I did was cut it back to that line, put a new one where it's not messed up at, installed it, and now we don't have any leaks whatsoever. So yeah, and don't worry about these little bubbles. These are not what I'm concerned about. That's just the soap. Whenever you start getting big bubbles, like when you're blowing a bubble. But yeah, there you go, my boys. Water trap right there. You could drain it. Pretty, not too shabby. So right now, clean all this up. Clean this up. Call the customer. Tell him he's ready to go. So let me clean this up. Call this Mamalona. Right said, Mamalona came out al 100. It's a quick little video. I was doing it. I said, hey, maybe this could help somebody, save a little bit of money. So I do have the truck here. It's fully aired up. It's ready to go. I called him right now, told him to pick it up. He's gonna come by later on today. So if you like what I just did, or maybe this helps you out, let me know in the comment down below. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next time. She, güero.